5 things we learned at the Star Wars Celebration Japan Ahsoka panel. And they actually gave quite a bit of information on Ahsoka from this. So the first one, we got Rory McCann, who's coming from Game of Thrones. I'm sure he's in other stuff as well. But he is going to be the new Balin Skull. So obviously Ray Stevens passed away. Ray Stevenson, very unfortunate there. I thought Balin was the best part of Ahsoka. I think a lot of people probably share in that line of thought there. And there's some big plans for that character. So obviously, they're going to recast. I'm glad they're recasting. I think it pays homage to Rey's legacy there, and that's kind of what they led at here, of just how important of a character Balin Skull is. So we're going to have Balin Skull, and I'll show a picture. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that picture of the new Balin Skull. So yeah, here we go. Rory McCann. So this is what we're gonna get for Balin Skull. Man, I love that look. We're gonna get some lightsaber action, it appears. So, I am super glad that we are gonna get more Balin in this show. I think that's what we need. It would be super weird just to kind of let go of that. So that was the first thing we learned about Ahsoka. Next, we're going to have Thrawn playing a huge role, and Akbar is going to return to face off against Thrawn. So the sequel trilogy, we get Akbar, but he unceremoniously bites the dust in The Last Jedi, kind of just in passing. So really glad that we're gonna see that. I mean, Thrawn leading his military forces, that's going to be really fun to see in live action. So looks like he's gonna have the scene, or maybe not have a line saying it's a trap, talking about Akbar, which is pretty funny. But looks like we've got X-wings, we've got an A-wing. It sounds like we're gonna have a lot of cool space battles in this. We have Loth Kittens. I guess they're probably gonna sell some merchandise of Loth Kittens. But check this out, point 4. The Mortis gods will have a presence. I mean, Clone Wars fans, we kind of expected this, since that closing scene from Ahsoka shows the Mortis god statue on Peridia, the father, son, and daughter. They're going to have an impact in Ahsoka Season 2, which I think is very exciting. It's like the most mysterious thing out of Ahsoka, right? Like that big cliffhanger at the end. Why is Balin seeking them out? Obviously, Ahsoka has a history there. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, for 2026, I'm most excited for Ahsoka Season 2. I'm unapologetically a huge Ahsoka fan. I know it's not perfect. I know Andor and The Mandalorian, as far as watching it as a fan, those are better Star Wars shows. I get that. But Ahsoka is still my favorite. So really, really pumped to watch this. But then the last thing we learned, and the biggest here, Hayden Christensen is going to be returning as Anakin. Prequels fans, 90s kids, 2000s kids growing up seeing Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. That's big news. Really excited for that. And I like how when they use Anakin in this, they use him as a plot point for Ahsoka. So Anakin's story, and Dave Filoni mentioned this, it was perfectly told by George Lucas. It doesn't need anything extra to make it better, but he does play a big role in Ahsoka's story. So obviously he has a part here. It's not just fan service, it is telling a story. So they're handling this very, very well. I'm very excited to see this. We're going to see Shin, Balin. We're going to have Ahsoka and Sabine out on Peridia. We're going to have Thrawn with the Night Sisters and Night Brothers fighting the New Republic with Ezra. I think there's a chance. I mean, we probably end up having Leia, Luke, and Han Solo in this show. I mean, I think it would be really weird if at some point we didn't get them in this New Republic battle with Thrawn. I mean, if you read the Zahn trilogy, they play a big role in that. So I think that's probably what we're going to end up getting in some shape, form, or capacity. They just can't completely ignore the fact that Luke Skywalker is out there in this galaxy. I mean, when Thrawn learned that Anakin was Ahsoka's master, he wasn't too excited about that. Imagine what he thinks when he figures out that Anakin has a kid that's a Jedi Master. So I think there's a lot there to be told. Pretty excited about that. So